What's going on to my people in YouTube land and then also in Facebook land? Yep. I got another topic today where I want to speak on a couple of things that that has something to do with equity. Now usually I would have more videos up, but when something comes to mind that's a nice cluster of quality, um, I feel the need to want to put things together to give y'all a good quality video within talking about this stuff. So we want to get along the lines of what equity is, right? And I'm about to explain what it is, and I'm about to tell you what the meaning of it is. All right. Now equity is something that has value in it. You know what I'm saying? And basically is something that you make money off of. So you can have equity in the person, or you have equity in your house, or you can have equity, within shares or whatever, right? That's the money that you make off of, that asset. It's called an asset because you own it and it makes money, like the house or whatever. So the more that you pay into it, the more, excuse me, it grows into equity. The more that you invest into it, the more money it makes for you. So like you may have business owners or whatever, right? That have other different investors that give money to the business so the business can function. And therefore they have an equity, source in that particular business that make money for them. So they may get paid a per diem, or they may get paid points on their money. But anyway, what is the basic meaning of equity? Equity is the amount of capital that's invested or owned by the owner or of a company. The quality is evaluated by difference between liabilities and assets. Okay, let's say records on the balance sheet of the company. The worthiness of the equity is based upon the present share price or a value regulated by valuation professionals or investors. Okay. So I'm sharing y'all the meaning so that way that y'all know what the word equity means. Because people hear the word equity all the time and don't even know what that shit means. They don't. Um, there are three different basic types of equity. Common stock. Common stock represents an ownership of incorporation. Preferred shares are stocks in a company that have a defining or a defined dividend and a prior claim on income to the common stockholder. Home equity, all right, which is the second one. The current value of your home minus your mortgage balance matters because it helps build the wealth. When you have equity in your home, it's a resource you can borrow against to improve the property. To improve the property, or pay down other high interest rate debts. So what I'm saying, people, that it's important that you pay your mortgage because your house is an asset. Every year, your house will make a certain percentage, maybe between 2 to 5%. All right, if you pay your mortgage, so you have equity in there. That's why they say you open up an equity line of credit, because you could borrow against the house. All right, you could borrow against the house, and what happens is you can pay the interest back. So by you paying your mortgage, ain't no difference like if you was to borrow, and get a insurance policy loan. They kind of have the same thing in between that. You know what I'm saying? So any money that you borrow, of course, in order for that institution to make its money back, they're going to charge you interest. And your interest that you pay is equity to the owner from the person who you actually borrow money from. I hope y'all understand that. Okay? Now, how does equity influence life? Thinking about the equity can help us decide how to distribute goods and services across society. I'm going to say this again. Thinking about equity can help us decide how to distribute goods and services across society. Holding the state responsible for its influence over the goods and services are distributed on how the goods and services are distributed in society, and using this influence to ensure fair treatment for the citizens. Okay? That means in the totality, we got these people running these big ass budgets or whatever that's supposed to distribute the funds for all working facilities for the people in the society. But we know we got a bunch of stupid motherfuckers that don't know how to manage shit. So, yeah. Anyway, what does this type of equity mean? This type of equity means types of equity are different and they come in different forms of shares, ownership available in companies. Some corporations will offer different levels of equity to attract investors with wallets and other shapes, sizes of deals that they may have. So that's another way. That's like, you know what I'm saying, going all through the second. Then you have equity debt, which is the difference between debt, equity finance. So, you know, you ask the question, what is the difference between debt and equity finance? With debt finance, you are required to pay the money plus interest over a set period of time. I'm going to say this again. What is the difference between debt and equity finance? With debt and equity finance, you are required to repay money plus interest over a set period of time. So get that straight. Typically in monthly installments. I'm going to say it again. Typically in monthly installments. So pay your shit every month. Equity finance, on the other hand, carries no repayment, no obligations. So more money can be canceled into growing your business. Now, you taking the equity and you financing the business, okay, by investing into the thing that's creating the equity for that. So it's your asset is actually, you know what I'm saying, your asset is actually helping you run and fund your business, okay? So the value of the share, that's the second. Well, was the third to the second to the third. The value of your share issued by a company, okay? He owns 62% of the group's equity, value, worth, and validation, okay? That is the person who made, how can I say? That is the person who may put more money in. Like if you have a group of people that put money into something, and they look at the percentages of what everybody has put in. So based upon, you know what I'm saying, I guess the profit return, when you slice that up, he probably gets more of a bigger, you know what I'm saying, stake, you know what I'm saying, in that or whatever. So, you know, when it comes to investing in long-term periods of things, equity plays a big role. Even, you know what I'm saying, when you go back and forth and you work even down to the smallest level, right? Well, you know, the equity that you would get when you rent your apartment is a place to stay forever if you pay the bill. If you pay the bill, you get equity, you get perks, you understand what I'm saying? Where you can also, I give you a prime example. If you live in an apartment, right, and you find somebody that need a place to stay or whatever, right, and you helping them out, you could charge that person $500. That's what you call equity. All right, you making equity, extra money off of that person. Equity is residual income. You can make it as a residual income, but equity is equity. So off of your place, by you paying a rent or whatever, you have a place to stay. And I'm just using this as a, you know what I'm saying, as a metaphor or what, as an example, excuse me. But If you have a place and you charge a person $500, a quarter of what you paying, they saving you $500. So therefore, your place, by you charging your place, or even you could pay the whole rent and they just pay you the 500, and you could take the 500 and finance whatever you want to, whatever else shit that you want to do by these people staying here. That's what you call using your place, to provide equity and equity finance to finance something else. Now, if you're smart, you could buy other assets that can make you other money too. And that will snowball your shit even faster. All right. So we had 10 minutes. But that's what this topic is today, y'all. I'm talking about equity. What is the basic meaning of equity? And what I just explained to you, okay? That's why it's imperative that you do own some shit and that you know how to flip. You understand what I'm saying? You can use your debt, to actually make you money by taking whatever it is that you need the money for or whatever and buying other things that make you money. That's how you use your debt, and you keep on doing that shit. Understand, people, that money is made to be moved around. It's not made to be, sat on or whatever like that. And then you got these motherfuckers balling the fuck out or whatever. No, you cannot. I tell you like this: if you don't establish some type of discipline with and owning some type of shit or whatever, right, you're never going to look out for your future self. So you want to invest into yourself. And for those who try to come up with the excuse of saying, "Oh, well, it's hard," motherfucker, you can start out in a passive. You know what I'm saying? You can start out passively. All right, you can use a passive role. Let's just say, I give an example. Again, I always give this example. You take $265 a month. No. Well, yeah, $265 a month. And then, shit, you time that by 12, that's $3,180. In 5 years, that's $15,900. And I already done the math. That's $15,900. That's 2 cartons of cigarettes and probably like 3 packs of roll-ups and a bag of weed. Within 5 years, you can have $15,900. There go your fucking 3.5 down payment for your motherfucking house. In the meantime, it's not, that amount of money ain't affecting your income, and you could be working on other shit simultaneously while you doing this in the passive way. And also, you could build up in your portfolio. So imagine if you was to stretch that, throughout the course of time, for the next 30 years, and you actually putting it into the market. By the time you go to retirement, if you was to stick that shit, that same amount of money, that $15,900, and let that shit sit in the stock market for the next 30 years, that shit will come to at least almost probably like $800,000, because that's how interest work. That's how interest work, people. So until next time, I got another video that's coming. I got chunks of shit that I'm gonna break down, and when I'm showing y'all, man, to bring to the table, before you even talk about getting rich or do anything first, all right, I'm talking about money management is the first level that you need to learn, as far as how the way that you hold up your household. Because a lot of you out there don't know how to pay your motherfucking bills and keep that shit going. Some of you do, but a lot of you don't. So that's what we're going to come on the one-on-one. I'm going to tell you about frugal living. You know what I'm saying? If you want to move up, you bubble slow. You understand what I'm saying? You bubble slow. You bubble slow. You can work your job or whatever, and it's easy to hit, $1 million these days. But it's a way to get to that shit. So we going to talk about some real deep hustling. This is Lee Majors, General Commander, USF. Yo, I'm out. This topic is about, what is the basic meaning of equity. Word up. Peace. And one love, y'all.